He's got to put the tight ends on the map.
It's on him.
You know what? Y'all just keep paying attention. I'll give you a better one this week.
It's tight ends like you that ran me out of the league, man. The Players Club is presented by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Washington Commanders. Welcome into the Players Club. I'm London Fletcher here with Santana Moss as usual. And we got tight end Logan Thomas. Logan, we appreciate you joining us on the Players Club.
Of course, thanks for having me.
All right. So, Logan, we're going to get this thing started off right away. We want to know your top three. This healthy conversation is presented by Cigna Healthcare. All right, Logan, we want to know who are your top three tight ends of all time?
Top three of all time. Okay.
Yes.
My number one is Gronk.
Gronk.
Trav is my number two.
All right.
Antonio Gates is my number three.
Ooh.
Did you, once you transitioned to tight end, did you ever try to take any parts of those guys' games and add them to yours?
Yeah, I think you try to find what you're good at and then what they're good at and see if you can somehow mold that into it. And so you try to take Travis's craftiness, you try to take the physicality of Gronk, and then like Antonio Gates' feel is unmatched.
Yeah. I love his feel.
Oh, yeah, man. The craziest part is I never went against Gronk. I mean, never went against Travis Kelce, but I covered Gronk and I covered Gates. That dang on Gronk, man. He was just so huge, massive, and dang on Gates, shifty. I was surprised you being a basketball guy from back in your day. Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
I see you more like a motive to Tony Gonzalez.
I can see that in his game.
I don't think I got to watch Tony a whole lot growing up.
Okay, that's okay.
And I think that's some of the reason, but yeah, Antonio Gates was right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah. Well, Gates and Gonzalez, to me, is just like each other. And then if you think about it, too, what the guy name is, Miami guy, I can't think of his name right now, played in New Orleans for a long time, played basketball.
Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham. Like, when you look at those kind of tight ends and their background, it's like, it's almost just, it's cheating in a sense, you know what I mean? Because you got these tall dudes that's just, they know how to box you out already. So now you're throwing a football up to them. It's a little different.
About using leverage.
Just losing the leverage.
Man, it's tight ends like you that ran me out of the league, man. Because think about it, because when you started having guys like yourself, 6'6", a Jimmy Graham, a Gronk, 6'7", even Tony Gonzalez, he was rare. But when you start having those guys playing that position with that size, you're boxing guys out. I'm 5'10", so imagine me trying to cover you at 6'6". You're going to have jump balls, all that type of stuff, man.
Yeah.
I don't like you type of guy.
How you know what? What is it like when you have a young quarterback and just knowing, like some of the things I saw from Heineke and the guys that you played with in the years past, what is it like to get in, I guess you can say Sam caught up to some of the things that you're good at? Because we saw a lot of that last few years of you just, hey, throw it to the highest point, you go up and get it. Is it something that you have to kind of talk to your new quarterback about, or is it something like over the time y'all will get that feel and he will understand that he can kind of like not, have a bad ball with you, he can just toss it up?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think you kind of play first, and then you come back and be like, all right, look, like, I might not be wide open in this, but my size is going to make the difference here. So just give me a shot.
Like one of those throws, and I didn't mean to cut you off. I don't know if you had something else to say, but like if you look at that throw that he threw this past weekend to Terry, you want to see more of that. And I've been saying this all year. I'm like, you the safety net. You the guy that I see in that when we in that red zone. I'm almost like EB. We got my man here, Logan here. Just throw it up a couple of times to him in the middle of the field and make the quarterback right. I would want to see that from you a lot more, what he did for Terry. And those are two guys he can trust. Trust a guy like Terry, he's going to go up there and come down with it. Trust a guy like you, you've done it numerous of times. So that's something you might have to just say, hey, Sam.
Yeah, well, you talk to him and say, the worst thing that's going to happen is going to be an incompletion.
Yeah,
like,
bingo.
The best thing that's going to happen is going to be a touchdown. Like, there's that give and take. But yeah, it's this conversation you have with them, not usually prior, usually after. And so for the next time it comes up, that trust is there. And we kind of had that this weekend with the touchdown that I caught. Because I ran it was an out route instead of a in in Atlanta, and he didn't trust it, and he moved on to the next read. But look, man, I'm going to be there. Like,
damn ball to me.
Might not be as fast as these receivers out here, but I'm going to be able to make a play on something.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. You had an opportunity to go to that tight end TE University. What was that like for you?
It's really cool, man. It's just a bunch of guys like-minded. Like there's 90 of us this year.
Oh, wow.
So all gathered in one area, being able to bounce things off of each other, just really getting to know one another, their families, and what makes them tick. And then being able to pick up some small tidbits from, some of the best guys in the league right now. That's really what, that's what you want. That's what you got to have to make our position group, I feel, is one of those position groups that doesn't get talked about enough. Like, yeah, you got Trav and you got George that you're kind of leading the way, but then that second wave of guys, you don't really hear anything about them, right? So, I think it's a really cool thing for all of us to get together.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned Travis Kelce. You talk about the tight ends not being talked about a lot. He's got to put the tight ends on the map.
It's on him.
Now, let me ask you this. Are you a Swiftie? Were you a Swiftie beforehand, or do you listen to any of her music?
So I'm not saying that I'm a Swiftie, but I'm familiar with her music for sure. My wife.
I was going to say probably the wife.
Yeah, my kids grew up listening to her because of my wife and stuff. So, by product of being in the house, I had to listen to her. So yeah, I know it. Yeah, I know it.
Time for the player profile presented by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Washington Commanders. Speaking of playing well, you've been playing well, especially lately.
Yeah.
20 receptions in the last 4 ball games, 2 touchdowns. What has it been like for you to finally to be able to produce at the type of level that you're accustomed to produce at?
And no pressure, but you are on my fantasy, but you can go ahead and answer that.
No, it feels good. It feels good. I mean, I understand what I am in this offense, and I think this offense allows me to have the freedom that I've liked to play with. I'm a field player. I feel the zones. I know where my leverages are. So thankful that I'm in this type of setting. But yeah, and I'm thankful that I'm feeling like myself again after coming off an injury and all that, the crap in the off season that you kind of go through when you're getting back into it. So yeah, it feels good just to be not the centerpiece by any means, but it feels good to be an active member of the offense and get things rolling because we got a lot of talent on this offense.
Talk to the listeners and the viewers about when you just said you feeling like yourself. I mean, it's almost like you take a weight off you, right? When you just actually can just do the things that I've been there. I've been in them shoes for numerous injuries, especially dealing with the lower extremities. But just talk to the listeners and viewers who don't know how that feels when they just watching you like, well, yeah, Logan don't look like himself. Of course he doesn't, you know what I mean? Because he still have to get back acclimated to what he has going on now. And once you kind of get over that hump, now you can actually go out there and be free, mentally and physically.
Yeah, so last year especially, 10 months out of surgery on a knee, probably pushed it a little bit. But you just don't have that explosiveness. You don't have that change of direction. You don't have the confidence of just sticking your foot in the ground and making the normal breaks that you would make. You don't have the lift when you jump. Like, you just don't have every little thing that you got. A year removed from that now to where I'm at, I don't even think about it anymore. It's just like when you're a kid and you're going to play in the backyard, you just throw your shoes on and go. Like, that's how you feel. Yeah. Obviously, a little older, we got to get warmed up to do it. But, I feel like I got a lot of that back. Yeah, and so I don't have any worries about, sticking my foot in the ground and making a cut.
That's a blessing for what we do, to have that kind of, worry-free, to go out there and play your game.
No doubt.
One thing that I know fans don't realize is there's a difference between training and rehabbing. Like when you're coming off of surgery. I had surgeries going into my last year. I wasn't able to train. I was rehabbing, getting ready for the season. And, it's just a different thought process, not even thought process, different process that it takes to get ready. Last year, 2 years ago, or whatever, you were rehabbing. This year, going into the season, you were training. You felt like a lot better going into the season too. I'm sure you did.
Absolutely, rehabbing. You're focused on one thing and one thing only. Really, like my knee is messed up. Let's get that knee right. Let's get it strong. Let's get it powerful. Let's get it right to where I can play. Everything else, that can fall into place.
Right.
When you're coming in healthy and you're like, all right, I can work on my upper body, lower body, my flexibility, if I need more flexibility in that regard. And, just making sure that, all things are functioning, calves, hammies, quads, because, those are the things that you got to have. So it's nice just being able to be back on your normal track, be back in your normal setting and, go into the season feeling healthy and feeling the way you should.
I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna jump the gun. I'm gonna say, in a sense of what we've been talking about. We kind of personal. Want to jump the gun to a little team stuff. Can I jump the gun a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Right.
Do you?
Just watching it from the outsider, and we both play. We played this game. when folks don't realize what folks don't realize about this game or fail to realize is that regardless of what we go through as players week in and week out dealing with the losses, it's still no doubt that we can win the next week. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so I just want to talk a little bit about the energy and the vibes that you guys got in that locker room. You know, how much are y'all trusting the process, trusting what the coaches are, you know, giving y'all, and what's the approach like every week? Because I'm pretty sure it's the same, but I always want to get this feedback so they can understand that, hearing it from your mouth.
Yeah, I don't go into any game thinking that we're going to lose. Like, I know the talent that we have in our locker room. I know what we can do. I mean, we showed it last week on offense. We played really, really well. A couple plays here and there, obviously, we'd like to have back, but I know what we can do, and if we put it all together, I'm not afraid of anybody in this league at any time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other than, you know, losing two of our favorite guys, the guys, everybody's pretty level-headed, man. We like I said, myself, I know what we got, and everybody else in the locker room knows what we got too. And shoot, when Sundays come around, it's time to suit it up. It's like going into a battle, man. You're ready to roll, and whoever gets in your way, you're just trying to go through.
Man, I'm glad you brought this up and you brought that up. That makes me think about when they talk about, man, they should tank. You know, that they should tank and try to get the #1 overall draft pick, whether it's basketball, football. The organization, maybe the owner, some people in the front office, I'm not talking about our front office, I'm just talking about front office in general of teams. They might be like, hey, man, if we can, you know, we lose more games, we can have this type of draft position. But there's nothing about a coach or a player that we're going to be on board with that. We don't go into a game ever saying, I'm going to, you know, try to lose this game, because we put in too much work.
No question.
Our performance, we're just too much on our performance. So in order for us to tank, that means I can't play up to my full potential. Yeah, I can't. Like, I'm not putting bad film on tape.
Yeah. You're gonna tell me I'm gonna put my body on the line to go get a loss? Yeah. Absolutely not.
Nah.
Like, that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna go put bad tape out.
Right.
If I'm trying to play more years, you can't put bad tape out there. And so tanking might be for other people. Like you said, when you get in that locker room, when you get on that field, there ain't no such thing. Like, you're going out there to win every single week.
How important is it, man, just for you guys to just, and because I've been through so many new offenses, man, it's just like I remember like being in them and just saying like, man, it seemed like I'm on a treadmill at first because everybody's trying to get used to it.
Right.
And then before you know it, you got it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? How important it is for y'all guys to just kind of continue to just grow with it every week, because I know it's a challenge. You know what I mean? I can see it. I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, I see the receivers giving them a little, hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, you get right here, you get right here.
Right.
I went through that so many times in different offenses. You know what I mean? But you know how important it is for you guys to just continue to line up, do what you got to do, go over it, you know, watch it, get away from the team, watch it, because sooner or later it's going to be like second nature again. It's going to be something that you feel like you done been here for your whole career, and you can just go out there and not have to think as much.
Exactly. And during what people don't know, we know, but what people don't know is the stuff that you run in the offseason, the stuff you run in training camp. When it comes to real games, that stuff is very minimal.
Right.
You're getting brand new things for these teams. And so, there's going to be those times where, like, what is that play? Like, what do I got on this? Because you're only hearing it for 4 days or whatever it is instead of months at a time. I mean, you pick things up, and so now once you start to get mid-season, you're starting to repeat some of those plays, and you're like, okay, now I got it, and so that's when things start snowballing, and you start getting real familiar with and then same thing with Sam, man, like he's going to get comfortable with what he expects from you, what he expects from the other guys on the field. You understand where they're going to be and the spacing, so you start really getting a feel for it.
All right, cool. Stay tuned, because when we come back, we're talking about this Commanders offense. Welcome back into the Players Club. London Fletcher, Santana Moss, Logan Thomas. Logan, let's talk about this offense that you guys, the performance that you had last week against the Eagles.
It's time for Protect the House, brought to you by Johnson Kendall Johnson, the official insurance broker and risk management partner of the Washington Commanders, where our passion is your protection.
All right, man, the offense looked phenomenal last week against the Eagles. You guys were humming, able to put up 31 points on the Eagles. When you look at this offense, what was it like for you to see, like, a week ago against the Giants, and then you go out and you see the type of performance that you guys were able to have against the Eagles and what you were capable of doing in this offense?
Yeah, it was less mistakes. Is really what it is. You go back and look at the Giants game, and it was.
Oh my God, you can point them out.
Second play, mistake. Third play, mistake. Fifth play, mistake. It was like, and it just kept happening. And you can't really get anything going with that. Your energy goes low. You don't have any excitement. Like you start, you get the chatter. Against Philly, we came out first down on the second play of the game, first down on like the third, fourth play of the game, whatever it was, and that's when once you get on a roll, it just keeps going and going and going. And it's been like that for us this year. The first Philly game, scored 31 points.
Right.
First drive was a touchdown, and that's really once you get that energy sparked, once you get that thing rolling. The train's moving forward and ain't no stopping it.
Now, is that something that you guys heard throughout the week, preparing for the Philadelphia Eagles? Because I'm pretty sure the coaches was pointing it out. Like, look, we beat ourselves in New York. Yes, we made a run for it the second half, but I'm sure that was something that was harped on the entire week. Because you can almost see how into it you guys was against the Eagles. I mean, it was like everybody was like on one accord. You understand? Like you had a nice bounce in your step, pep in your step, and everybody just out there making sure that every play counted.
I think we had an intent going into it. I think we knew the plan. I think we knew what they were going to do as well, and I think that was the big reason that we could play fast and play comfortable. New York did a good job of mixing things up against us, and we didn't have that speed like we did against Philly. So it's just being on our P's and Q's, making sure our film study's right, making sure we know what to expect every week, especially in that first 15, because that's when you can make some hay.
It's something about MetLife, too. I just had to put that out there, man. That thing is dreary.
They saw that thing great. It's too great.
Man, it just feel like you just like, I want to
I've played there 10 times. I don't think I've seen the sun once.
It's the way the stadium is, man. I was talking to Julian Bram about it. Like, they couldn't put any more color in this stadium. I mean, it's just cement and gray in that building. I don't know, because you have two teams playing in there, so you wanted to be a little bit more neutral. Yeah. Speaking of balling, man, Sam Howell in that first half, 24 for 26. You've been used to play quarterback. What's it like to be in that type of zone as a quarterback, to be just dicing the defense up?
I think it's just that comfortability level. And Sam couldn't do that without the O-line. If you go back and watch that game, O-line has caught so much crap this year. And then you see what they did in this game, and we gave up one sack, late or something like that? 2 sacks late. The guys played their butts off, and that gave Sam the comfortability to sit back there and deal. And so I'm just super proud of how they played first, and then how Sam just stood in there and kept delivering, because against a team like Philly, they make it real tough to run the football. So you if you can get into that back end, then you can make some hay. And that's what we did, and that's what Sam did.
I think one of the things that we mentioned all week long on our different shows is it's great to be able to that's one of the good things about playing your divisional games or opponents, because we know each other. So you know what you can do a little more of or less than that second time around, or even the first time. Now, like these games here is what you want to see, the same kind of outcome or better outcome, because you want to see a win. But when you're going against a team that you're not familiar with, how important, or has it been mentioned to you guys this week that, hey, get in the book a little more, watch a little more film to know, because I'm pretty sure they're going to bring it too. And one of the things about Belichick and what he does well is watch what you can't do well, or watch what you haven't done well. So he's going to try to look like the Giants a little bit and say, I'm going to bring some different looks.
Absolutely.
How important has that been for you guys this week?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've been saying to my young guys, and they've been saying in here, is like, just make sure you know what you're going to get. Yeah, they're going to do a good job of trying to mix it up, but make sure you know that personnel, because they're going to bring man. That's what they do. They're going to bring every type of blitz you can think of. They're going to run their doubles. They're going to make it look like man. They're going to drop out the zone. But they got their tails too. Like they can't just sit there and hold it all day, right? So if you know what they're about to do, that gives you that extra step to play faster. And that's one of the things that our room has done a really good job of, is just being able to, all right, this is what they're doing, this is what they're going to do. And I think now that we've gotten into the point of the season, now we know what to look for, now we know what to understand, and now we're looking forward and looking to those points to exploit them.
I got a question for you, man. You going back to college, you balled at VTech, you quarterback, put up crazy numbers there, and then you transitioned to the NFL, to a tight end once you got into the NFL. Keep it $150 with us. Are there ever moments when you see a $250 million quarterback contract. Are you like, man, dang, I maybe should have stayed at the quarterback.
It's only when that money starts getting thrown out, it's the only time you really think about it. I got no envy of what they got to do on a day-to-day basis. I did it for 3 years in the league, and
it's different.
Don't want to go back to it. It's that mental stress, that mental level that the gymnastics you go through every day.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it, man. You ain't never heard me talk bad about a quarterback because
you know.
I've been there, I've done it, and I don't want no more parts of it.
I could just imagine, man. I was going to ask you something similar too, like when it came down to it, because I think we had you before and you told us that, because I didn't know, but I believe you told us before that you was a tight end early in your career also. So when it came down to, because around the time when you came in, they were still undecided how they want to treat the quarterback position. Yep. Was it easy to say, I'd rather be this, or was it just because whatever they allow me to play, I'm going to play it?
It was more whatever they allow me to play, I'm going to play it, because I wanted to be in the league. I knew I could be in the league, whether it be quarterback or tight end. God gifted me some gifts that not a lot of people have with the size and athleticism that I have. I just knew I needed somebody to help me work with it. And Detroit gave me that first call, and then I went to Buffalo, and they refined some of the skills, but it wasn't really till I got here when things took off. But yeah, I'm just thankful that I had the opportunity to get back in once I was out for a couple, 12 weeks or whatever it was.
What's up. Yeah.
All right, Logan, when you look back at your career, what would you say has been your most rewarding moment? Let's take a look at the most rewarding moments brought to you by Fanatic Sportsbook, the most rewarding sports book.
Football-wise, for sure, I would say was that win in Philly to get into the playoffs in 2020. One right up there beside that was 2018 in Buffalo when we broke that streak of not going to the playoffs. So those two things were really cool, both for completely different reasons. Buffalo, I didn't feel as if I was a huge part of that team. Yeah, I was playing, sparingly, but I didn't feel like I was a key component. But that 2020 season, I felt like I had something to do with that. I felt like, all that effort I put in that year, 1,200 snaps, 1,300 snaps, whatever it was, it paid off in the way I wanted it to pay off. And that year wasn't easy by any means. Alex came in after all the stuff that he went through. We had injuries up and down that year, and that COVID year was crazy.
Yeah, I know.
It was really cool just to be able to get that opportunity to get into the playoffs. Obviously, it didn't go the way we wanted to in that game, but we had a wild year that year, and looking back on it, it was insane.
That's interesting because I think he's the first player that we had on the show that basically talked from the team aspect, his most rewarding moment.
Yeah, he is.
You know what I mean?
Oh, he definitely is.
Most of the guys talked about their individual, success. Not saying that you're wrong, but that's great to hear that somebody looking at it from a team's point of view, man. So that's dope.
Yeah, no, it's always great to hear about these career moments. When we come back, we're keeping the highlight reel going with the breakdown of some of Logan's top plays from this season.
Bringing 5. Hal's got time. Center of the end zone. Logan Thomas diving! Touchdown!
Hell of a play, bro. Hell of a play, bro. Appreciate you. Go, team! Let's go!
Welcome back into the Players Club. London Fletcher here with Santana Moss and Logan Thomas. Logan, last year when we had you on the Players Club, man, you talked about all the different animals you got at the house. Any new additions to the house?
No new additions. No, the same crew still rolling through.
So you had to expand upon the number of pets that you have at the house.
So dogs, cats, bearded dragon. Got an axolotl. That is a new addition.
Okay.
That's a new addition. Horses, chickens, ducks. So, yeah, we got
a lot.
Yeah.
You got a lot. And your kids were also playing football a year ago. Football still going good with them?
Football's good. Finally about to start settling out of that. My oldest played varsity this year, did a good job. Had a 9th grade team guy this year, did a good job. And then 7th grader, he's in the playoffs for his rec league team.
Okay, nice.
They got a good shot of taking one home. So.
Yeah, Fred told us his oldest was playing pretty good this year. Fred.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, Smoot mentioned your oldest was playing pretty good.
Yeah, he's a freak. He got his mom's genes, thankfully.
Oh, yeah?
now, speaking of his mom and your wife, you two were opening an events venue last year.
Yep.
Has that opened, and if so, how's that going?
We haven't opened it yet. The building is up, windows are in. Now it's just fixtures, and it'll be ready to roll. So
that's dope.
Definitely by this time the off season hits, so we can at least go. Back
what's
there
the name of it? Shout it out.
It's called the Thomas Estate. It's in Forest, Virginia, which is in Lynchburg, Virginia. So if you're looking for a place to get married in the next year down the road, we're the place to go to.
All right, cool. Okay, now it's time to take a look at some of your top plays from this season.
Let's take a look at Driving Towards Greatness, presented by Eastern's Automotive Group. Any car, any way, for everyone since 1988.
We're going to start this off on the Thursday night game against the Chicago Bears, man. Got an extra offensive lineman in the game, Cornelius Lucas. A little play action. Tell us what's happening on this play.
Yeah, so the goal was to get it to 85, Cole Turner right here, and they did a good job taking it away. My job was just to step down, trying to get a little bump on the end, and then take it to the corner. Then once I saw Sam get outside this pocket here, and everything started flowing, I just stopped. And he just threw a good ball, came back and got it.
And stopping, you made yourself available to Sam.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, not everything's just run straight lines. It's a little bit blurry sometimes out there, and scramble drills, you got to just find a way to get open.
All right, ad-lib. All right, let's take a look at this next play.
Our second play, I believe you talked about this a little earlier. It's a 7-yard touchdown pass down here on the goal line from Sam. Talk us a little bit about this route and how it came about.
Yeah, so it's just an in route. This is usually a play we run out in the field. So this is, when it came up, I was like, all right, I wasn't really expecting that one. But when I came out there and it was inside leverage, I was like, oh boy. So I had to do a little stem just to get him on his toes.
Right there.
I saw you double him up right there too.
And then Sam gave a great ball.
Great ball, ain't it?
You had a little bit of wiggle right there on that stem, man.
Well, there's still a little bit in there.
And he was holding you too, so
it's an and one. We'll take it.
Right.
Take that TD any day.
All right. Okay. Let's check out this last play, man. This is the one. This play right here, I definitely want to hear your thoughts on. This is the same game from the Philadelphia game. What happens here?
Yeah, it probably wasn't the smartest decision, but as a guy who's tall, you get tired of getting sniped in your knees and that lower extremity area. And looking on film, you kind of know what guys are the guys that like to go low.
Yeah, a guy who won't go low.
Yeah,
I don't feel your pain because I didn't have to jump that much, but I want to talk to you about your little spin when you got up, man. I told him I'm gonna take you to my school a little bit. I saw it stand up though at the end.
Yeah,
but you threw it out there like. Let's check it out and see if they got a better view, or they don't have a better view.
You know what? Y'all just keep paying attention. I'll give you a better one this week. Now you can go back in the Rolodex a little bit.
No,
you can see some good ones.
I've seen you throw it out.
You know how football goes. Sometimes you got injuries on yourself.
Right.
Nah, I feel you.
I should have gone with the left hand.
I done threw so many of them out there, especially after touchdowns. I remember I played Baltimore one time and threw one out there, and that thing never stood up. So I'm just pulling your leg a little bit.
Man, that was a heck of a jump though. Yeah. I got to give you your props for that jump, man. Got to give you that.
That's that pep in your step I'm talking about right there, man.
Yeah, I mean, last year I tried it and I got clipped. Yeah. So I was like,
Love seeing it, man. You look light on your feet, man. That's what's up.
Oh, man, it's great, man. Well, Logan, man, we appreciate you joining us on the Players Club. Before you get out of here, we have all our guests sign this helmet. If you don't mind signing that for us, we appreciate that. And also, you're off to a great start of the season, almost at the halfway point. What can we expect from you moving forward the rest of the season?
Hopefully a little bit more of the same, but, I'd like to get back in that end zone a couple more times.
A lot more time, babe. I need fantasy points.
Because if I'm getting in there, we can't start putting points on the board. But,
let's go.
I expect us to pick this thing up and start rolling. No more 7-point games.
No doubt.
All right, man. We appreciate you joining us. And we appreciate y'all tuning in and watching the Players Club. You can catch us same time next week.